Hey, all, it's David Ducker coming back at you, and today I'm going to be talking about Session Zero. Session Zero is when the whole group gets together uh, before a campaign starts, and they collectively, collaboratively design the campaign and design their characters. So they go through the old campaign tripod, the setting, the story, and the team. So they'll decide, for setting, what their genre is and what the specifics of their world are like. So if they're going through maybe swashbuckling, they'll say, okay, well, we're going to have, rapiers and sabers and cutlasses. There's going to be no armor, or perhaps very, very little armor. Some black powder weapons. We're going to have full rigged galleons, frigates, ships of the line. Are we going to have magic or not in our setting? What's the religion going to be like? What are the different nation states going to be like? What's the map of the world? Is it an archipelago? Is it a giant lake, perhaps? The Black Sea, Pirates of the Black Sea. That'd be awesome. But you decide these things collectively about your setting. Then your story. This one's the trickiest part because they're going to play it, and you want there to be surprises and twists and turns and mystery. But you can still go through the general themes and say it's going to be about love and betrayal, or is it going to be about government and how they interact with their people? Capitalism versus socialism, anarchy versus statism in general. What's that going to be like? Is that our story? Or is our story going to be about more of a low fantasy and just these guys on a ship trying to survive week to week and the drama of the characters, right? So you can still talk about the story, but in general terms. And then finally, you got your team, the little pinky finger down there, baby. You got your team. What is going to bind us together? Are we all musketeers? Are we all on a ship together? Are we members of a noble house, of a church, whatever it is that binds us as a team? And also through our individual characters, are you going to play the big dumb brute with a saber, a cavalry saber, and a blunderbuss perhaps? Or are you going to be, the smart, sneaky navigator, and nobody can kill him because they need him to navigate the ship, and they'll get lost without him, and they'll all die. So he's almost got like a immunity. He can wheel and deal, and if he gets caught, he can just say, "You can't kill me. I'm the navigator, son. You need me." Much the same way you might need a doctor on your ship. You can't kill the doctor. You'll all die without the doctor. Or are you a captain, or a pirate, bootylicious sex pot? Whatever your character is. You can go through that. So that's basically what a Session Zero is. You build the campaign tripod upon which the story will rest. Now, my personal views, I don't like Session Zero. I like all those elements and planning it, but I see no reason that the whole group has to be in one place for it. You can easily do this via email, or the GM can dictate a lot of this as well. Depending on your group or what the GM cares to do. So what I usually do is I get together with each of my players individually, and I go through these ideas with each of them separately and individually. So they don't know what the other ones know. So there's more mystery, there's more secrets, there's more surprises, because those are three things I love in a campaign, especially between player characters. Now, for the story and the setting, that's not such a big deal. You can all go through that together. It's not going to cause big problems. It could indeed help you a little bit. But it's the team. That's the part that bugs me. Because I don't want I don't want James to know what Josh's character is. Not at all. I want him to meet James' character, and James describes what he looks like. They have their first meeting. They say, "Hello, my name is X." And then Josh will say, what kind of a name is X? And James will say, that's none of your business, son. Just call me X. And you got this mystery, you know. If it's a fantasy or a space opera game, maybe you don't know what race he is. Maybe you've never seen that race. Maybe he's in disguise. You don't know where he's from, what his motives are. And I love that mystery. I did a video on secret character creation, very similar to this video, but I thought it was worth repeating. Because I didn't define Session 0 in that video very well. So I've defined it, and again, you know, my reasons why I don't like it is because I want there to be mystery. If Josh knows that James is playing a doppelganger who worships the Beholder Nation and a Beholder cult, then it's going to cause metagame problems. Whereas if Josh really doesn't know anything about James and he slowly discovers he's a doppelganger and he slowly discovers and he worships the Beholder Nation, you get the surprise in character. And also because it's slower, the reveal can take place over, you know, 10, 20 sessions. You get camaraderie built up so that when you find out he worships the Beholder Nation, it's not like you want to kill him. It's like, my best friend worships the Beholder Nation. What am I going to do? You know, he saved my life. I saved his life. I was the best man at his wedding. And now I find out this about man. You know, he kept this secret from me, but maybe he was right, because I do kind of want to kill him, but I can't. And you get that slow storyline built up that you couldn't get if Josh knew right from the get-go. Even if his character didn't, if Josh out of character knew, it's going to cause problems. Either because he can't handle it and he'll act on that knowledge, or it'll just ruin his enjoyment because it's always nagging him in the back of the mind. You know, for me, when I'm a player, I don't want to know anything about the other players. You know, I'll make sure for the GM, I'm part of the team. If we're all members of a temple, I'm in there with the temple. I might be a traitor, you know, and a false worshiper, and I actually worship Magoubliet or some such. But I'm going to be in there, and I'm going to get those 10 sessions, those 20 sessions, to ingratiate myself, to become friends. And maybe my character starts to think, you know, oh, I've been in disguise with these people, and they think I worship Cord, but really I worship Magoubliet. But I've seen the light of Cord now. And maybe I start to doubt myself, you know, by the time it comes around. And that can be a great storyline. So those are my thoughts on Session 0. It's fine for the story, for the setting, even for the team as far as a unified theme, what we're all doing together, what binds us. But do not have each player know what the other player is playing until they discover it in character. They get to describe what they look like. They get to say, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. Have you seen a six-fingered man? And you're like, I don't know anything about a six-fingered man. Why are you asking me that? Like, oh, don't worry. You know, and it's like, well, that's odd. And eventually you'll find out why he's looking for the six-fingered man. Because that six-fingered man is his father. But in the meantime, you want the mystery, in character and out of character. And you really don't want to start off with them already knowing each other. Because then you miss all of that great role playing. You know, you miss out on the fact that Han Solo rescued Chewbacca from slavery, and it cost Han his officer stripes. And Chewbacca tracked him down after the fact and came and said, Han, you rescued me, and you know, my life is so enriched by this freedom. I walked through the streets the other day with no chains on for the first time, and I knew I had to come and offer you my help. And then Han, you know, you get that first meeting, and Han can say, I don't want your help. Get away from me, you filthy Wookiee. I don't like slaves, but I don't like Wookiees either. And then Chewbacca keeps following him. until finally he ingratiates himself enough that they become this legendary tag team. But if you just start off in episode 4, you don't know the depth of their relationship. You want to start out when they first form that team, when they first meet each other, so you can experience all those great role-playing scenes, because those are role-playing scenes the GM doesn't have to be involved in. So they allow him to sit back and rest and relax and be entertained by you, right? So those are all a gift to your GM. And you'll be role-playing against a character who's really well developed. No NPC will be as developed as a PC. Ideally, they should be, but it's just not going to happen. Your GM doesn't have time to do that when he's got a cast of dozens or hundreds. So this is the most developed character you'll get to meet. So you want to get every role-playing scene out of him as possible. And that's your other PC, your teammate. So those are my thoughts on Session Zero, on what they do well, which is forming the concepts, what they do poorly, which is spoiling surprises. And as a parting word, I'd again say do it over email, do it in the coffee shop. When you get all your players at the table at the same place at the same time, that's when you need to role play. Don't waste any of that precious game time. It's hard enough to schedule. Don't waste a minute of it if you can help it. Plan ahead so you can utilize it. That's about all I got to say about that. Let me know what you think. If I missed anything, if I misrepresented anything, leave that in the comments below. And until I see you again, good day and good gaming.